Welcome to Mindful Objective, the podcast where we explore the root causes of health concerns and uncover holistic tools to restore balance. I'm your host, Dr. Daniel Sproul, integrative health practitioner and professor, and today we're diving into something foundational that doesn't get enough attention: your mitochondria. These microscopic powerhouses are responsible for producing energy in every cell of your body. When they're sluggish, you feel it: fatigue, poor focus, slow metabolism, hormone issues, even mood imbalances. Yet most people never think to look on what's going on at the cellular level. In this episode, we'll explore the role mitochondria plays in energy, mood, and metabolism, hear real life stories, understand symptoms that suggest your mitochondria needs support, functional lab tests that reveal mitochondria dysfunction, natural ways to improve cellular energy from supplements to lifestyle, and how chronic stress, toxins, and nutrient depletion slowly robs your cells of vitality. If you're always tired no matter how much you sleep, or if you plateaued in your healing journey, this episode's for you. As always, this show is for educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, treat, or cure any illness or disease. Let's get into it. So let's start with the simple but powerful truth. If your mitochondria aren't working well, nothing in your body works well. Mitochondria are often called the powerhouses of the cell, and for a good reason. These reside nearly in every cell of the body and are responsible for producing ATP, the energy currency your cells need to function. From pumping your heart to firing neurons in your brain, synthesizing hormones, detoxifying harmful substances, repairing tissues, digesting food, none of it happens efficiently without mitochondria energy. So now if you're thinking, that sounds important, but what does it have to do with me feeling tired all the time? Here's a connection. When your mitochondria aren't functioning properly, your cells don't get the fuel they need. And when the cells don't have the energy, your organs and systems begin to underperform. That's the wired but tired feeling, the brain fog, the chronic muscle soreness, or reduced tolerance for exercise, even hormonal symptoms like poor libido, mood swings, or disrupted cycles. Many of these trace back to the cellular level, and often it's mitochondria. Let's look at just a few high energy systems that depend heavily on mitochondria output. One would be your brain. Neurons are energy intensive. Mitochondria dysfunction can impair neurotransmitter production, leading to mood disorders, anxiety, and cognitive fog. Another one would be your heart. The heart never stops beating. You hope, right? Mitochondria ensures constant energy availability. Fatigue or shortness of breath can be signs your heart's cellular engines are underpowered. Another one would be your muscles, right? Muscle tissues rely on ATP to contract and recover. If you feel sore easily or you can't bounce back after workouts like you used to, it's worth looking at mitochondria function. Another one would be liver and detox pathways. Detoxification, methylation, and other metabolic processes all depend on ATP. Whether mitochondria falter, detox slows down, allowing toxic burdens to slowly build up in your system. It's not just physical symptoms either. When your body's low on energy, it reroutes resources toward basic survival, not optimization. This is why people struggle with mitochondria dysfunction also experience poor motivation, mental burnout, or general sense of just not feeling myself. I think that's a lot of us out there. So what causes mitochondria to go from mighty to malfunctioning? The answer is multifactorial, but often comes down to a combination of oxidative stress from inflammation or poor antioxidant reserves, toxin exposure. This could be mold, metals, pesticides, nutrient depletion, especially B vitamins, CoQ10, magnesium, chronic stress, and high cortisol. Mitochondria DNA damage. This could be from aging, infections, or it could also be from medications. And here's something most people don't know. Mitochondria dysfunction doesn't always show up on standard blood work, that conventional blood work. Are they looking for that? A lot of times it will not show up. So you could have normal CBC, normal thyroid levels, and even decent iron panel, but still be dragging because your cells can't make energy efficiently. That's why integrative and functional testing is so important. Just know when clients come in with low energy, mysterious fatigue, or stalled healing progress, I often consider mitochondria health early on. It's a root cause layer many people never get to explore. The good news is mitochondria are adaptable. They can recover, rebuild, and multiply, If given the right inputs, you can go from fatigue to burnout to energy, clarity, and resilience once again. So, in this next segment, we'll break down the signs and symptoms that might be signaling mitochondria dysfunction, even if you never heard of the word mitochondria until today. Let's talk how you know when your mitochondria aren't functioning optimally. Most people don't walk in a clinic saying, I think my mitochondria are struggling. They come in saying, I always feel tired. I can't focus. My workouts drain me. My mood's all over the place. Or simply, I don't feel like myself. These are signs. They're often more subtle, just enough to dismiss, attribute to age, stress, or being busy, but over time they add up. And for many people, these are actually the early red flags of mitochondria dysfunction. So, what does it look like when your cellular engines are underpowered? Common symptoms of low mitochondria function. One would be chronic fatigue. This is probably the most common. You sleep but never feel truly rested. You need coffee to function. You crash hard midday or early evening. I think that's a lot of us. Another common one is brain fog. Thoughts feel slow or scrambled. You forget names, lose track of conversations, or struggle to concentrate on tasks. What about this one? Mood shifts. Low-grade anxiety or depression, irritability, or emotional reactivity are all common when your brain can't fuel neurotransmitter productions properly. Exercise intolerance. What used to be a normal workout now leaves you depleted. You recover more slowly and feel sore for days. Normally, you're used to doing this treadmill work, and now you're due to treadmill. Man, I'm so tired. Or I lifted these light weights. You're like, man, I feel like I lifted such heavy weights. Again, exercise intolerance, something to look into. Another one would be muscle weakness or heaviness. Everyday tasks feel harder. Walking uphill, carrying groceries, or even standing for long periods become tiring. Another common one is cold hands and feet. This can signal sluggish metabolic activity at the cellular level. Poor stress resilience is another one. You get overwhelmed easily, emotionally shut down, or physically crash after stressors. These are just a few examples, but they're powerful clues when they show up in patterns. So here's the problem. Mitochondria dysfunction mimics other conditions. You might think it's your thyroid, adrenals, or even depression. And those can absolutely overlap. But if you treat those without addressing mitochondria, you're missing the foundation. That is why so many people bounce from practitioner to practitioner without relief. They ruled out anemia, thyroid issues, blood sugar problems, but they're still exhausted. The root issue may be this: their cells can't make enough energy to meet their body's demands. Now let's make it even more real. Think about the last time you had a week where everything felt off. You woke up tired, had brain fog by 10 a.m., felt edgy for no reason, couldn't finish your workout. You tried to power through, maybe blame stress or poor sleep, but it kept happening. What if it wasn't just life, but a sign that your mitochondria is running low? I don't think a lot of people know about this. So if that resonates with you, you're not alone. I see it often in my integrative health practice, and usually a clue is to dig deeper. But we have to know those symptoms and understand what you tried, what you haven't tried, what you're taking, and go from there. So let's look at one real-life client story. 38-year-old mom of two came in saying, I just thought I was lazy. She's been dragging herself through the day for over a year. No matter how much she slept, she woke up tired. She's given up on working out completely because she never recovered and felt sore for days. Her doctor ran standard blood work. It all looked normal. She was told to manage stress and drink more water. We hear that a lot. But we ran deeper panel, including organic acid tests, and uncovered mitochondria markers that were just off the charts. Her cells weren't producing energy well. Once we addressed nutrient depletion, especially B vitamins and carnitine, and supported her mitochondria with CoQ10 and gentle detox, she finally got her energy back. Her words, it feels like someone flipped the lights back on. It's an amazing story, but it takes time, and there's options out there. Just know that. So let's understand how to distinguish mitochondria issues from other fatigue sources out there. Here are a few comparisons. Adrenal fatigue often feels like burnout and may include low cortisol, poor sleep, or cravings for salt and sugar. Mitochondria issues often include those plus deeper energy crashes, cognitive issues, and usually sluggish physical recovery. Another one that's very common is thyroid issues. This usually affects your metabolism, weight, and mood. But if your thyroid labs look decent and your energy is still missing, mitochondria may be the missing link. Another common one is depression. This can involve low motivation, but in mitochondrial dysfunction, it often pairs with physical symptoms like weakness, brain fog, and poor exercise tolerance. And sometimes all of these are interconnected. Mitochondria don't work in isolation. They respond to hormones, nutrients, stress, toxins, and your lifestyle habits. That's why integrative health is so powerful compared to conventional medicine. There's a big difference there. We look at the whole picture. We're going to unpack the hidden factors that damage mitochondria over time. These are things you might be exposed to every single day. But sometimes the real issue is your cells can't generate energy efficiently. And remember, that's a mitochondria problem. So let's talk about if mitochondria are the energy factories in your body, then understanding what breaks down is very crucial. Most people are surprised to learn that their low energy isn't just about bad night's sleep or getting older. It's often about long-term exposure to factors that wear down your body's ability to make energy at the cellular level. A lot of people do not understand there's a cellular level or just don't have that knowledge. So these hidden stressors may be in your food, environment, lifestyle, or even your medicine cabinet. Let's break down the top culprits that quietly sabotage mitochondria health. A common one is environmental toxins. We live in a toxic world. Pesticides, mold, air pollution, plastics, and heavy metals like mercury, lead, or aluminum can all be harmful to your mitochondria. Mold toxins, mycotoxins, they can directly damage mitochondria membranes, making it harder for your cells to produce energy. Glyphosate and other pesticides interfere with mitochondria enzymes and nutrient absorptions. Heavy metals, this could be dental fillings, contaminated fish, or industrial exposure. These compete with essential minerals like magnesium and zinc, which are vital for mitochondria enzymes. The worst part, these exposures often go unnoticed. You may not see or smell them, but they can build up in your tissues over time, especially detox pathways are sluggish. Another one would be oxidative stress and inflammation. Your mitochondria naturally produce some free radicals as byproducts of energy production. But when your antioxidant defenses are low due to stress, it could be poor diet, chronic illness, those free radicals build up and cause oxidative damage. This damages mitochondria DNA, which is more vulnerable than nuclear DNA. It also reduces efficiency, causing your body to produce less energy and more waste with each metabolic cycle. This is often a turning point where people start to feel chronically fatigued, even if they're doing all the right things. Antioxidants like glutathione, vitamin C, vitamin E can help, but only if your body has the resources to make them use it properly. Right? If not, you're just over-taxing out your body. So another common one is medications. Several commonly prescribed medications have been linked to mitochondria damage or depletion. Statins, people take these for cholesterol. It can reduce your CoQ10, a critical enzyme in mitochondria energy production. Antibiotics, particularly like Cipro or Levaquin, have been shown to damage mitochondria DNA in some people. NSAIDs like ibuprofen or even antidepressants can impair mitochondria enzyme function or increase oxidative stress. Proton pump inhibitors, which are PPIs, these are used for acid reflux. They can deplete key nutrients like magnesium and B12, starving your mitochondria of what it needs to run. So as always, consult with a provider before stopping any medication, but know the long-term use may come at a cost on your cellular health. Another one would be chronic infections. Lingering infections can slightly drain your energy. Viruses, EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, Lyme disease. Another one would be even recurrent Candida or H. pylori. Keep your immune system on high alert, which diverts energy from other processes. Your body's fight against infections produces inflammatory cytokines, which can interfere with mitochondria signaling. Some pathogens even invade mitochondria directly, disrupting their structure and function. This is especially common for clients who say, I never bounced back after that one illness. I never felt the same since the flu, mono, or Lyme disease. Your lifestyles can also drain you. These are the ones that people rarely connect to mitochondria health, but they matter just as much. Chronic stress and high cortisol tell your body to prioritize survival, not energy optimization. Long-term stress wears down adrenal functions and mitochondria output. Overtraining without recovery time damages muscles, mitochondria, leads to chronic fatigue. So are you overtraining? Or sometimes you need to slow it down. You don't need to work out 5 days a week. Like they say, every other day is the proper way to go. Sleep deprivation disrupts mitochondria repair cycles, especially in the brain. Undereating, particularly low carb or calorie restricted diets, can deprive mitochondria of needed nutrients and fuel. Blue light at night impairs melatonin production. This is a hormone that also functions as a mitochondrial antioxidant. So here's another real life story. I had a client in her early 50s who came to me saying she hadn't felt right since she had the bad flu 5 years prior. Since then, she had brain fog, low stamina, and recurring sinus infections. She'd been diagnosed with post-viral fatigue and put on antidepressant, but nothing helped her long term. We ran testing for mold and mycotoxins, and sure enough, 2 of these were elevated. Her environment was part of the problem. These toxins were damaging her mitochondria. We helped her navigate adding liver support and mitochondria cofactors like glutathione and even magnesium. She gradually came back to life. She later told me, "I thought I had Alzheimer's. It turns out my cells were just starving." No, it's not about being perfect. But the more these factors stack up, the more mitochondria struggles in your body. And you can't meet your body's needs, and this is all something you should be aware of. So this is where functional testing is heavily used. We don't just guess if your mitochondria is suffering. Functional labs can give a clear window into what's happening. A popular test we always talk about is organic acid test. This shows mitochondrial markers. It also evaluates B vitamin needs, oxidative stress, and detox functions. Mycotoxin heavy metal panels assess toxin burden that may be interfering with energy production. Nutrient tests look at magnesium, CoQ10, carnitine, glutathione, and other mitochondrial critical compounds. These tests help build targeted protocols so you're not just throwing supplements at the wall hoping you're going to get energy from them. So in this next segment, we'll dive into exactly what those mitochondria supportive strategies look like, from the most supportive supplements to simple daily habits to recharge your energy systems. Now that you understand what damages mitochondria, let's focus on what can restore them. Because here's the good news. Mitochondria are adaptive. They can recover, rebuild, and even multiply, a process known as mitochondrial biogenesis, when you give your body the right tools. But you need to know about those right tools. That's where this segment will focus on the most effective natural strategies to support mitochondrial health. This includes nutrients, supplements, food-based support, and lifestyle changes that nourish your body at the cellular level. Let's break it down into categories that are easy to integrate. One would be mitochondria-loving supplements. Some supplements have been extensively studied for their ability to restore mitochondrial function, boost ATP production, and reduce oxidative stress. One of those would be CoQ10, ubiquinol. That's a great one. You have 2 different options. CoQ10 or ubiquinol absorbs a little faster and better in the body, but it is maybe 3 times the price. So you can't use CoQ10, just you have to usually use it as a higher dose. A critical enzyme in the electronic transport chain, it's like a spark plug for cellular energy. Best form is ubiquinol, right? Especially for those over 40. In a daily dose, a lot of people take is between 100 to 300 milligrams daily. And L-carnitine, L-car. This is another one that helps transport fatty acids into your mitochondria for energy production. Also supports brain function and focus. Most people take dosages between 500 and 1,500 milligrams daily, taken usually in the morning. Another one, PQQ. This stimulates mitochondria biogenesis, especially helps those build new mitochondria. Works well paired with CoQ10. Dose for that is usually 10 to 20 milligrams daily. Another one would be magnesium malate. Magnesium is a cofactor with over 300 enzymic reactions. The malate form directly supports Krebs cycle. Usually typical dosage out there is 200 to 400 milligrams daily. Then you have NMN or NR. NAD declines with age and stress. It's vital for energy production, DNA repair, and longevity. NMN, 250 to 500 milligrams daily. NR, People usually take 300, 600 milligrams daily. D-ribose, it's a sugar molecule that helps build ATP and support energy people with fatigue or those that have fibromyalgia. Usually the dose on this is 5 grams 1 to 2 times daily. ALA, alpha lipoic acid. This is an antioxidant that regenerates other antioxidants like vitamin C and glutathione. The dose for that usually is 306 milligrams daily, ideally in ALA form. Creatine is a long-studied supplement. It's been around for a long time. It has a lot of benefits to it. It's not just for athletes. Creatine provides rapid energy in cells, supports brain performance, and may reduce mental fatigue. Typical dosage on that is usually 3 to 5 grams daily. Reminder, always introduce supplements gradually with a practitioner guidance if you're dealing with chronic health issues, fatigue, or multiple medications. Another good thing is mitochondria support from food. You can also support mitochondria through targeted nutrition. Whole nutrient-dense foods provide the cofactors needed to fuel the mitochondria engine. Beets, it's a good one, rich in nitrates that improve blood flow and oxygen delivery to mitochondria. Now, if you are migraine sensitive to or have any blood flow issues, taking beets where it improves that blood flow can cause people to get migraines. Eggs and organ meats like liver, packed with B vitamins, choline, iron, and CoQ10. Dark leafy greens, spinach and kale. These are full of magnesium antioxidants. Wild-caught fish, salmon, sardines. These provide omega-3, selenium, and support your mitochondria membranes. Berries and pomegranates, high in polyphenols and antioxidants. Green tea and matcha. These contain EGCG, which supports your mitochondria health and fat metabolism. Prioritize color and variety. The more vibrant your food, the more antioxidants you're feeding your mitochondria. Now, one people need to do is focus on their lifestyle, right? Sometimes the best mitochondria therapy doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from how you live. Cold exposure, cold showers, cryotherapy. This triggers mitochondria creation and improves resilience. Sunlight exposure, especially in the morning, regulates circadian rhythm and supports mitochondria antioxidants like melatonin. Resistance training and interval exercises build muscle. It improves your mitochondria density, and it also enhances your energy metabolism. Another important one we always harp on is sleep. Deep restorative sleep is when mitochondria repair peaks. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of consistent bedtime. Be more consistent. Try to go in bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. Breath work and stress reduction. Chronic stress reduces mitochondria function. Breath work, meditation, or even 5-minute walk outdoors can buffer cortisol and restore energy flow. A balanced approach matters too. So one of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to stimulate energy production when their body is ready is if you're overloaded with toxins, depleted in nutrients, or running in chronic stress mode. Aggressive mitochondria stimulation, it will backfire. So you can rebuild before you rev it up, right? That's what you want to do, slow and steady. That is why every mitochondrial protocol I created is based on testing and a phase strategy. Number one, what we need to always do is drain the toxins. Was that a 21-day detox? Is it a heavy metal detox? Drain those toxins. Sauna therapy. Next one we go to is repair your mitochondria with targeted supplements and lifestyle. Then we want to reinforce with sustainable habits for long-term energy, right? We want to get you on a long-term health plan, not just a quick overnight thing and then you're sick in 4 months. The plan is long-term. It's a slow process. So next, let's tie it all together. Let's explore what real-life mitochondria support protocol looks like. Again, don't just stimulate mitochondria. Rebuild them with the right nutrients, rest, and resiliency support. It's not like just going to a doctor, getting an antibiotic, and you're done, and then you're sick in 3 months. So again, slow process. Let's build your body properly. The proper nutrients, proper rest, proper resiliency support. So let's talk about a supportive protocol for real life. Now that you learn what damages mitochondria and how to support them, the next step is a practical application. How do you take this information and actually use it in your life? Because let's be honest, no one wants a supplement cabinet full of pills they don't understand. And I think that's where a lot of us are. or you don't want a wellness routine that's overwhelming and unsustainable. This segment's about building mitochondria supportive protocol that works for you as an individual. Remember, what works for one doesn't always work for the other. So it has to be specific to you. That's why when you do lab testing, if you were to compare your labs to anyone else's labs, you will never have the same looking lab. There's a reason for that, right? Your body's individualized and you need to address it specifically to you. So stop blindly taking supplements. So step one, identify the stressors and remove what's draining you. Before you start stimulating mitochondria energy production, you need to stop the leaks. That means identifying and reducing things that drain your energy daily. Sleep debt, right? Are you getting sleep, restorative sleep? If not, that's where to start. Nutrient depletion. A lot of people are experiencing this. Are you skipping meals? Are you low nutrient diet? Undereating is a major mitochondria stressor. I think that's where a lot of people are at too. I think a lot of people think they overeat when actually they undereat. So that's why we talk about food tracking. Keep track of your food and see. Look at those calories. Look at the proper nutrients. Are you getting enough protein? You getting enough carbs? You getting enough sodium? There's a lot of things you need enough of, or you're not going to have energy. And a lot of people struggling with energy production too, I find out are often one of their main causes, they undereat. They don't have enough food in their system to drive their energy production. Another one would be toxin exposure. So are you drinking from plastic? Are you using synthetic fragrances? Or living in a house that maybe has mold? And this is a hard one to identify. What can you begin replacing or eliminating? And when it comes to mold, it's tough to find if you have mold in your house, right? Because it could be behind a wall, your bathroom and a shower, it could be washer and dryer. Is there mold exposure there? And how's it affecting you? Another one, especially in today's society with everybody working so much and the way the economy is going, it's chronic stress. Are you stuck in fight or flight all day long? This can shut down mitochondria repair and trigger more oxidative stress. So again, it doesn't require perfection. Start by removing one toxin source. Reestablish a consistent sleep schedule. Eat 3 whole food meals per day. Create small wins. Even one foundational change can help your body shift from. Take it a day at a time. Step 2, assess before you add. Functional lab testing gives you a clear starting point. In Mindful Objective, we use organic acid tests. This is our most popular. I'd say organic acid tests and food sensitivity tests are the 2 most popular. The organic acid test reveals mitochondria function, B vitamin levels, oxidative stress, detox markers, and more. The mycotoxin and heavy metal testing, this identifies environmental burdens that may be shutting down energy systems. Micronutrient panels, this helps identify deficiencies like magnesium, CoQ10, carnitine, ALA, glutathione, and others. This test allows us to build targeted supplement protocols specific to you based on your test levels. Then we build those protocols to do what works best for you. So instead of throwing supplements at your fatigue, we pinpoint what your body actually needs. Long term, you save money because you're not wasting supplements and you're not damaging your body further. So if testing isn't available right now, you can still begin with a food-based support, foundational supplements like magnesium, CoQ10, and lifestyle upgrades. But remember, testing removes the guesswork. You know exactly what's wrong, and you know exactly how to utilize which protocol to address it. Step 3, build a layered protocol. A strong mitochondrial support protocol follows a phase-based approach. Phase 1, rebuild the foundation. You focus on sleep, blood sugar balance, and digestive health. Add in magnesium, B-complex, and basic antioxidants. Introduce nutrient-dense meals with protein, healthy fats, and colorful vegetables. Phase 2, this is where we repair and restore. Added targeted mitochondrial supplement support such as CoQ10, carnitine, PQQ, NAD. Gentle stimulate mitochondria biogenesis with cold exposure, strength training, or morning sun. Support detox with binders. This could be activated charcoal or zeolite if toxin load is high. Then we go to phase 3, recalibrate and maintain. We adjust based on symptom progress. We want to follow up on lab markers. And this is where we say like a 3-month commitment, 6-month commitment, because we do that. We do this multiple phase approach. You go through this, here's your results. Here's what your results state. This is supplements suggested. You take those supplements. Okay, and 1 month goes by. We have a call. How you doing? Okay, you're still not feeling right. Your energy's still low. Okay, let's introduce this supplement or let's increase that supplement. And then talk about month 3. Let's transition to that long-term plan. Are you doing the correct habits? Do you need your plan adjusted? We adjust that plan and go to month 4. How you feeling? Your energy's coming back. Okay, you could get off these supplements. How's your nutrition? Okay, let's go to this next step. And then 6 months down the line, how do you feel? And most people feel like a new person. But you have to follow the program. Right? That's the big thing right there, is following that program. There's a protocol for you, specifically to you, that could help rebalance your body. Follow that protocol to the T. And we talk you along the way to give you the proper support. And you fall off track, that's what we're here for too, to get you back on track. Another one you want to do is rotate or cycle supplements based on energy, seasons, and stress levels. That's where we work with you on that. Step 4, we want to stay monitoring and adjusting. Keep tracking your progress. This matters. Energy is a lagging indicator, meaning it can take time for improvements to show. Here's how we monitor. You keep a simple log of energy, mood, sleep, and exercise tolerance. Pay attention to how your body responds to new supplements. Are you crashing, feeling better? Are you feeling overstimulated? Adjust based on season, stress, and recovery needs. Healing isn't linear. You got to be patient. Mitochondria doesn't respond overnight, but give it 30, 90 days of consistent support, and many people report major shift change in clarity, stamina, resilience. As we always say, it takes time. Nothing's overnight. It didn't take your body overnight to feel it the way it does. It's not going to be repaired and rebalanced overnight. So let it take its time. Understand these protocols will work. It's just a matter of time. Just like you take a antibiotic and you're still sick. And then most people are like, I can't believe I took an antibiotic 7 days and I'm still sick. But you know what? A lot of them trust that antibiotic. But a lot of people don't seem to trust the supplement side. And that's where we got to change that mind state, saying, you know what? It just takes time. Just got to be consistent and things will improve. So here's another real life example. One of my clients, 42-year-old teacher, came in after months of unexplained fatigue. Her basic labs were fine. She felt awful. After running the organic acid test, we found mitochondria stress and low B vitamin markers. She started a tailored protocol with CoQ10, magnesium malate, better sleep hygiene, and daily beet smoothies. Within 6 weeks, her brain fog lifted. She no longer needed caffeine to survive the workday. By month 3, she's back to walking 3 miles a day without crashing. That's why it's possible when you support the root of your energy system. You don't have to push to exhaustion or accept burnout as your new normal. Mitochondria health is a foundation of real energy and real healing. We'll wrap things up and share how Mindful Objective can support your health through personalized lab testing, expert protocols, and clear guidance on your path to renewal. At Mindful Objective, we build protocols around functional test results and real-life goals. You don't need a diagnosis to start feeling better. You just need data and direction. What's the whole goal of these podcasts? To help people out there, help educate people on there's different ways to heal your body, especially with many of us been through these nightmare scenarios of doctor after doctor to have no luck and just get to the point where it's, man, this is my life. This is what I have to deal with forever until I die. That's where I took this journey on myself because of the whole migraine issues. And it just led me to learn all this different things that your body can heal. It just takes time. And it's not based on pharmaceuticals. So it's a learning process. But again, we're here to educate you. And if you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out because that's what we're here for. We want to get you on the right path. As always, this show's for educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, treat, or cure any illness or disease. But if you're tired all the time, struggling to focus, or feel like your body just isn't bouncing back the way it used to, it's time to look deeper. Mitochondria may be the missing link. You don't have to do this by yourself. That's why I say 3 to 6 months. Let's slowly work with you every month. We'll have to usually adjust and get you on the right path. So energy is your life force. Let's protect and rebuild it cell by cell. If you found this episode valuable, share with someone who's always exhausted. Head to mindfulobjective.com to explore how we can help. Stay curious, stay grounded, stay well.